Well, it's another vlog day, and I'm wondering if I ever told you about the time that I saw a 2,000-pound black Angus bull fly through the air with the greatest of ease. It was about 25 years ago, and me and my brothers were moving cattle from one farm to another using a borrowed trailer. And we always borrowed a trailer in those days because I guess we were poor and didn't have one. And we were going from one farm to another, ferrying cattle, and we'd get a few at a time, and went back, and I think we were getting a bull last. He was kind of ornery up to that point. He'd always been kind of ornery. Got him from a neighbor, and named him after the neighbor, and I'll just go ahead and tell you, y'all know him. Some of you know him. His name's Carl, so we called the bull Carl. And anyways, we were about done moving the cattle for the day, and we were coming down the hill by my granddad's house. And as we came down the hill, we went over a little culvert in the road where they had patched the pavement, and it was a rough spot. And when we hit that culvert, the trailer kind of bounced, and right about the time it bounced, Carl stepped on the back end of that trailer, and it came unhitched. Now, there's two schools of thought on this, and I don't know which way it is. One is that we were using the wrong size ball for the particular hitch that we were using. And that's entirely possible. It's been too long ago. I don't remember, and I wasn't the one that hooked it up anyway, so I don't feel responsible. But either it was that or the trailer hitch was just worn, because it was an ancient trailer whenever we were using it. But anyhow, he stepped on the backside of this trailer about the time we hit that bump in the road, and it bucked up like that and came unhooked. And whenever it came unhooked, we were going 35, 40 miles an hour, and it came back down and dug into the road, and that trailer flipped. And I turned around. I was riding shotgun, and I turned around and watched this thing happen. And it was like, have you ever been in an accident where things just kind of slow down and everything seems like it's in slow motion? Well, when I turned around in that pickup truck and looked at what was happening behind us, I saw that thing dig into the road, that hitch, and that trailer flipped end over end. And as it flipped, Carl come flying out of the top of that thing and did about 3 somersaults in the air and lands on his back in the ditch. And my brother Jeff said, "There's a dead bull." That's what he said as he was flying through the air shortly thereafter. But he didn't get to watch it, maybe out of the rear view. But see, I was watching it, turned around, watching the whole thing go down. And I saw him fly through there, 1, 2, 3, and then landed in the ditch like this with his 4 legs. That's 5, but 4 legs sticking straight up, just like that. And he laid there, and we thought he was dead, right? Because he'd flown 20 feet in the air, flipped over, and landed in a very violent fashion. And so we had time to get out of the truck and go back there and standing there looking at him. And he's laying like this, and all of a sudden he jumps up and goes sort of like that, and he takes off through the cornfield. Now, there was standing corn. I don't remember exactly what time of the year it was. We'd not started harvesting yet, I don't think, but the corn was almost to harvest time. So I'm going to say it was, late August, maybe, somewhere in there. It was time that we should have been harvesting sometime between July and September. I don't know exactly. But anyway, he takes off. Well, about this time that he took off, because he was stunned for a good, what seemed like several minutes. About the time he takes off, my granddad comes walking down the hill, and he said, "Jeff, what's going on?" He didn't address me at the time. I was still stunned. I was just standing back. I was 12, 14 years old, just amazed at what I had seen. And he said, "Jeff, what do you got?" And Jeff said, "I got a mess, what I got." And he was correct. There was a mess. Trailer spewing all over the road, bull running off through the cornfield, great big 500 acres of corn So he was in woods, and who knows where he went. He seemed to be in a hurry wherever he was going. So anyways, he was 4 cell phones, so Jeff goes up the hill to make a phone call to call the other brother and tell him what disaster had just happened and try and round up some help so we can go locate this bull that's running through the woods. And so I take off trying to locate the bull running through the cornfield. Corn cutting me up. You know how it is when you're running through standing corn. And can't locate. I can hear him. He's carrying on, but I can't locate him. The brothers show up, and then the town posse sort of forms, and the friends and neighbors join in to try and figure out what to do about this bull. Well, turns out he didn't go that far. We got him located. He was up at the neighbors, up on the hill up at Glenn's, and somebody, one of the elders of the group, comes up with the brilliant idea of, well, maybe, since he's not wanting to come home just yet, if we could find a cow that was in heat, maybe that would be something to entice him into coming up into the neighbor's lot, because we were going to try and corral him up there at Glenn's. They had fences and whatnot. So anyways, that's the brilliant idea. So we go get another cow, and I don't know if y'all can see where this is headed just yet, but we got one in the cornfield, and we've got another one that we're going to fetch to try and entice the other one in to the corral. And so we go and get her, put her out. Sure enough, she jumps the fence. She's gone too. So now we got not one but two cows, bull and a cow, running through the woods, and they're back on the creek and running around, and nobody knows exactly where they are. Well, it must have been early in the day when this all started going down, because we chased around, looked around, hunted for cows most of that day, and the friends and neighbors hunted for cows, and eventually they had to go back to do their work and left us. And eventually my dad showed up, and it was just the 4 of us, me and the 2 brothers, Joe and Jeff, and Dad, looking for this cow back on the back end of Bernard Cecil's place. And we're hunting for this cow and bull. And it was getting late in the day by the time we found them, but we did locate them. They still didn't want to come home yet. So we located them, and not only was this the day that I saw a cow or a bull fly through the air with the greatest of ease, I also got to see someone ski behind a cow. And as I was sitting back in the field, the 2 brothers and Dad had gone off to try and corral this thing. I was tired of chasing. I was a little guy, and I was getting worn out. Been chasing cows all day. And I'm sitting there at the truck. The 3 of them have been off in the woods for a good 5-10 minutes, 15, I don't know. And the next thing I see is this cow coming towards me. She was a Hereford, by the way. I see this Hereford cow coming out of the woods, and behind her is my brother Joe, and he's got a hold of her tail, and it was like water skiing behind the cow. And I don't know how he thought he was going to take her down, because she had to weigh 1,000 pounds more than him. But anyway, he didn't get her down. And long story short, the next day, after they had had time to calm down and think about things a little bit, we did get them corralled. We got them up to Glenn's. We didn't lose any. And from that day forward, Carl the bull was a lot calmer person. It kind of mellowed him out. He didn't ever get rowdy with me from that day forward. It used to be, he'd scare me a little bit. But after that day, he was just mellow as the day is long. And that's the story of the day that I saw a 2,000-pound black Angus bull fly through the air with the greatest of ease. And I hope you've enjoyed it. That's the vlog for this week. Appreciate you coming back. I'm still exploring the vlogging world and enjoying it. And I thank you for watching. So have a great rest of your week. Bye.